First, I guess I want to say that we've been raising chickens for about 5 years. We decided to do it just because we wanted those fresh eggs, just like we wanted to start a garden and start catching rainwater. I started wanting to make meals from scratch. We wanted to get rid of processed foods, eat better, live better. We were in River Mountain Ranch, which wouldn't allow you to have chickens, so to get around that, we joined 4-H, and it became our 4-H project, and we started raising them. And I don't know how many of you know, I actually don't like eggs, so it wasn't a big deal for me. I wasn't excited about it, not as excited as the boys were, but I quickly fell in love with them. So we start off with baby chickens, and you can get those from a local source. You can find a reputable farm. You can mail order chickens. So our first batch, I'm trying to think where we got all of those from. Oh, actually we drove out close to Marble Falls. There was a place out there. We got 8 to 10, named all of them, got to know their personalities, what their breed acted like, loved them. Started getting their eggs, and it was just a really neat experience. And actually with one of those first chickens, Evan won grand champion at our Kendall County Fair with our hen Fudge, which was a big, fat, beautiful barred Plymouth Rock. But we've got our second batch. We ordered another 8, and these were our first mail order. It was from Ideal Poultry, who actually happens to be in Texas, so they didn't come far. But it was August a couple years ago, and we got the phone call probably about 7:30 in the morning from the local post office. And all they tell you is, you have a package here and it's cheaping. Come to this address between these times. And you arrive and you get your little box of chicks. So got them home. They were all in fantastic shape. Very happy to be out of the box and to see us. So you get your baby chicks, and the first thing you do is provide shelter, warm shelter, just the right temperature, and food and water. So we have always raised our baby chicks in a Rubbermaid in the house. It's the easiest thing, a Rubbermaid from Walmart. Fill it with shavings and then have constant clean food and water. And then to keep the temperature right, although you have them in the house and it's nice and cool, they do need a heat lamp because their body temperature needs to stay at a constant rate. And it changes as I get older, so that's something that you'll need to look up and prepare for. But as I get older, the temperature doesn't have to be as hot. We raise them in the house until they're big and feathered and they can keep their temperature normal on their own. And that's about the time that the poop really starts to stink, so you want them out of your house anyway, yeah. Right? The food needs to be a chick starter. It's gonna be the proper nutrients and ingredients that those baby chicks need to grow up big and strong. Okay, once they have those feathers and they're ready to go outside, that's when you need to worry about the coop. Where you're going to house them, where they're going to be safe from predators. If you're out in the country, we had a fox that would come by every once in a while, and you would see hawks overhead. Luckily, we had lots of trees to protect them from the hawks, and we had Sophie, our faithful corgi, to chase off anything else. We have had 4 hens for the past 2 years. So they have a really little tiny A-frame coop. When I post the picture of this, I'll actually let you know exactly who I purchased this from. We got it here. Ben put almost the whole thing together by himself. And then I actually went to Home Depot and bought all the tools and materials that I needed to put the coop up on a block. I made a nice little stand so we could get it off the ground just because of rain and ease of cleaning. I got it at least 3 feet off the ground, and then underneath we're storing their food to keep that from getting wet from the rain. Yeah. And when you get them outside, as long as they're protected and they're safe and they have shade, we're good here in Texas. And they have a constant water supply. I'm sure they love their own cool pool don't you think? Because it gets hot out there. And then they are on an organic adult layer feed. We happen to choose Purina because we have trusted that company for the last few years, and Tractor Supply, super easy to stop by and pick that up, and the price was right. If organic is important to you, please be sure to check that out. I wouldn't use anything else. And then in the backyard, they're going to be eating what? Grass and greens, and they'll eat your plants. Bugs, worms, they're great pest control. And all of those extras that they're eating are making even better, healthier eggs. And I guess the next thing we'll point out are the eggs. They start laying at about 5 months. About that time, we start putting little wooden eggs out in the coop, right in their nesting box, so they can kind of get familiar with that's where those eggs go. And then between that and I think just instinct, about right at 5 months, they start laying in the coop. It's pretty cool to watch. If you're wanting to raise chickens and you're wanting certain things out of them, research the breeds. We ended up getting the little top hat because she was precious. That breed is really cute. They have the big fan and their eyes are practically covered, and she's just really funny to watch. And she lays little white eggs. And then we have an Americana, and we chose her just because the Americana's colors are beautiful. She's a beautiful bird. And then you'll always get a surprise when they start laying. Your eggs are either going to be a really beautiful olive green, or they're going to be a really pretty turquoise. And mostly ours lays
olive green.
No, she lays blue.
Oh.
And then we have 2 breeds that lay brown. One is our Buff Orpington, and hers are more of a really pretty pink. It's a pale pink, pale brown. And then Ralph lays the beautiful brown, and half the time her eggs have freckles, and they're the cutest little things you've ever seen. If you have kids and you're looking to add chickens to your backyard, by far we would recommend the Buff Orpington. She's a real pretty cream. They tend to be pretty fat hens, and just the sweetest personality. I saw someone the other day on Facebook call Buff Orpingtons puppies with feathers or dogs with feathers, and I think that's a pretty good representation because they are that cute. And we might bring her in the house in just a little bit, although usually chickens aren't allowed in the house. As far as breeds go, I think there are probably hundreds. So do your research, and the most important thing is really what temperament you want, maybe what color eggs you want, and definitely the weather. There are some breeds that just can't make it here in hot Texas, and there are some breeds that can't take the cold, so look that up. So this is Ralph, the Barred Plymouth Rock, and that's Miss Piggy, the Buff Orpington. Just wanted you to see them and wanted to talk about treats real quick. In addition to the fresh greens that they should be getting from outside, you can also buy them treats like mealworms and cracked corn. They can eat oatmeal, and we love to feed them scraps from our kitchen too. So right now I have some shredded cheddar cheese, and they love tortillas. They love all kinds of fresh fruits and vegetables, especially grapes. If you're thinking about getting chickens, we totally recommend it. They are such amazing, cute pets. You wouldn't believe their personalities. And if anybody has any questions, if you're thinking about starting your flock, let us know. Reach out. We can answer questions for you. We can give you information and put you in the right direction. And if you're thinking about joining our 4-H group, we would love to have you. We meet just once a month on a Thursday night, I believe. So it's really easy to attend. And I guess until next time, we'll say bye. Hopefully we'll be all settled back in for a really good week with our iPad and our microphone and back in the shop, maybe even with a guest. But until then, Ralph,
Okay.
say bye.